Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a Bishop, the Tier 5 British SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Mines and it's under the command of hossballs. Game's underway. Well, this little Arty is derived from the Valentine tank, so it's quite slow, but it's also got a 4.5 inch howitzer which is capable of 450 alpha, penetrating 28mm of armour, and it's extremely accurate. Okay, hossballs is expending his aim and looking for an enemy tank near the centre of the map, and he's got a 25 TP. He adjusts his aim, rounds out, direct hit, 151 hit points off that weakly armoured 25 TP. Trying to go for another shot, rounds out, direct hit again. Now the reload time is quite quick. It's about 11 seconds, which puts it on a par with the Fifi, the 105 FH18B2. And a direct hit there on the T3485. Now the great thing about it is also the trajectory, because the Arty has got a relatively short range. The trajectory is virtually straight up and straight down, which makes it more like a mortar in its ability to hit the enemy. And that's forced that Panzer IV Mark 4H and the T3485 to go into that corner so deeply that one of them has actually fallen off the edge and is now in the water, the Panzer Mark 4H, and he's just been hit by another round from hossballs. Okay, inside the castle grounds we can see a 25 TP making his way down south towards the edge, and if he stays there he's going to get killed, and he has been killed. Hossballs has got his first kill at 25 TP. He was warned, he was hit twice and then taken out the game, and the KV1's just received a nice little hit. There's an OI there which is basically a juicy pinata for Arty players to enjoy. Rounds out on him. And another hit, and I've noticed hossballs got this habit now of suddenly pulling away after he shoots, which also makes it difficult to see what happens to the shell after he does that. Not a good thing to do, because it takes away enjoyment from the viewer as to what actually happened. Now you see he impacted the target, but because he pulled away so far we could barely see what actually happened, and again that destroys the enjoyment for the viewer of the video. They can't see where the shell actually impacted on the target. Now he's just out of range on that T34. You can see that because it's a flat reticule. He'll have to move further closer towards it, and he's doing that to try and get a shot. Now if he can land a shell in the cockpit of that T67, he should be able to wipe it out altogether. And I think that's what he's precisely trying to do. Just lining it up. He's going to go for a shot on the T67. And he did kill him! He's got his second kill, took out the T67, but yet again he pulled back before, or just after he fired, and we didn't see what happened. We didn't see if the shell suddenly went into the cockpit or if where it landed on the vehicle. Okay, he's going for the T3485, the one he chased into the river. And he gets another hit, this time for 192. And there goes the T3485. Now the OI's decided to go into the castle grounds, which makes him an easier target, and he's just been killed by our KV1. So we're 6 tanks up on the enemy at the moment. It's 8-2. The enemy are really reeling, and it's mostly down to hossballs firing in some pretty accurate shots that made these enemies so weak and so depleted of hit points that they became easy kills for his teammates. Trying to get a shot on that P43 Biz. Nope, just missed. Now another thing that hossballs is doing is he's actually moving while still in battle assistant mode. That can be dangerous because it means that you're not looking at where the vehicle is actually driving, and it is possible to drive over rocks which can flip the vehicle upside down. So not always advisable to drive about whilst you're in Arty mode unless you know that there's no obstructions or obstacles in the way. He fires around at the Wizzy, but the Wizzy pulls forward far enough that shell's missed. Now he doesn't have a whole lot of ammunition, so he needs to be careful he doesn't use up too many rounds. Couldn't see that Wizzy when he fired at him. And he's now down to just 14 rounds, so he is running short of ammo. In circumstances like this, where we're running short of ammo, you don't really want to get to a position where you're in the end game and you suddenly run out, because that could be crucial. Okay, there's a box tank up at the center line, the SU-100Y. That's a nice juicy target for an Arty player to hit. Big box-like structure, impossible to miss. Now, another thing is that now he's moving up towards the center of the map. With the short-range Artys, again, wasted another round on blind fire. You need to be as near to the center of the map as you can to ensure that you can cover as many tanks, enemy tanks, over a wider arc as possible. Now, he hit that tank, but again, he pulled back after he shot, so we didn't see exactly where it was or what it hit on the tank. And mind you, we couldn't see the tank at the time, but there's that box tank. You see, if he'd been near the center of the map, he would have been able to hit that thing, but he's still sitting near his own cap. He needs to be up either on the hill or near the center rock to be able to hit these enemies, and he's still way back in his own half of the map. And he's now down to just 12 rounds of ammunition left. And he's fired another blind shot at that P-43, who's probably not there anymore. Ideally, he needs to be up on the hill right now, and well, he's sitting at the back, and there's no way he can reach that box tank. It's just too far away, and he's now realised he has to move up because there's no enemy targets in range. None that he can see anyway. Well, the KV-1 just got taken out by a Stug 3G, and that would kind of indicate the Stug 3G is somewhere near the enemy cap area, possibly above the cap area at the back, to take that shot. He couldn't take that shot if he was further over to the east, so he's probably on that plateau, probably in grid square A4, as he was last seen in that area. He could be hiding behind the rock. Well, he's fired in a blind round, and again he's now wasted another round. He's down to 10 now, and he needs to move up a bit further. Now, he can move up without being seen by the enemy tanks, even if they're on the plateau. All he needs to do is move up behind the center rock, and that should be a good enough position for him. There is one enemy Arty. There's only 4 enemy tanks left, but the enemy Arty is an M41 HMC. He's having a look in that corner. Oh, he's fired another blind round, and I think that's a wasted one. We don't know where the enemy Arty is, but it's unless he had actual sign that the enemy was in there. He is running desperately short of ammo now. There's 4 enemies. He's got 9 shots. But remember, these rounds don't tend to do the full alpha damage every time you hit the target. They tend to do about half their alpha damage. So he's only likely to get about 200 hit points for each shot, if that. Probably less than 100. Now, everyone's moving up except hossballs now. He's still staying in the south end of the map. Well, near the centre, but not quite at the centre. Somebody needs to go in there and find the enemy. That Wizzy 131 is certainly not where he was last seen, because the box tank, our box tank, is nearby, and he didn't see him, so he must have moved back to guard the enemy cap. We still don't know where the P43 Biz is. Okay, the VK's decided to move up. That's good news. Okay, there's the P43 Biz. We've got no shot because he's behind that rock. The M10's the only one who's got a shot. He's trying to get him. Oh, and now, unfortunately, he lost sight of him temporarily. And because he's not near the centre, he's having to adjust his arc of fire. Lining it up, trying to work out where he's headed. Needs a small lead, that's all. No, that was too much, and it fell short. Okay, there he is again. Small lead. And just fell short again. And that M10's in a whole world of trouble now because it's a 90mm gun. He can easily be taken out by that P43. And yes, he was killed. We fire a round in and get 88 hit points of splash from a near miss. Now we need to fire another round in. He'll disappear. He's probably still there. Rounds out. He is still there. Oh, and he's taken the aim off the spot. So he missed the opportunity to take out that P43 because he's probably tracked. And, well, he's been distracted by this M41 HMC who's spotted at the back of the map up on the plateau. And now the P43 Biz is more than likely going to be behind us. And I think the other members of the team have recognised that because the top two's moved back. And our P43 Biz is moving back as well. The Hellcat's staying where he is at the moment because he's probably being spotted from the island, probably by the P43 Biz. He might actually be proxy spotted. There's the P43. He's not on the island anymore. He's way down in the south. And he has been killed by the P43, but the P43 just got taken out by the Wizzy 131. And there's the Wizzy 131 lining up a shot. Rounds out. Well, he gets some damage. 115, and he's killed the next second by the VK3001H. And that now leaves just two enemies left. The M41 and the Stug 3G. And we know the M41's up on those heights. And we suspect that the Stug 3G is up there as well. In which case he's probably behind that rock. The M41, there he is. hossballs fires around in. The M41's just derped our Hellcat, and well, now hossballs has only got 3 rounds left. The Stug's been killed. The M41 is now the last remaining enemy. He fires a round in. He's only got 2 rounds left. 190 hit points from that shot. If he can do that again, then he will win the game. He's just lining him up. That's the 1 minute counter. And he misses with his next round. Just waiting for the reload to go in. He's only got 1 round left. He fires before he can see the enemy, and it's wasted, I'm afraid. He's out of ammo, and the M41's still there. There's nothing he can do. He can't fire anymore. And there goes the M41. The VK takes the victory. So only 2 kills for hossballs on this one. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's an ace tanker for hossballs in the bishop. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 16. He got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else in his team. And his win rate from the game was 6,954, which is very high, but he did use up all his ammo during that game and, well, ran out of shells at the end, and there was an enemy in sight and he didn't have enough ammo to deal with it. Let's have a look at team score. He didn't get the highest he did get the highest damage in the game, 2,391 hit points of damage, picking up the high caliber. The next high scorer was the TOG 2 on the enemy team with 1497, and then their OI with 1493. When it came to kills, it was actually the Wizzy 131 GFT who got 3 kills. He got the highest number, and hossballs managed to get 2 alongside quite a few other members of his team and the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's in second place. The high scorer was the M10 RBFM with 968 base, and hossballs managed to get 852 in the bishop, 720 for the Panzer IV Schmaltern. He fired all 32 rounds of ammunition in that game, got 15 direct hits and 1 penetration and 20 splash. Damage of 2,391 hit points, of which 1,816 were at more than the 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 2, and did 236 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 40,130 credits, and after ammunition resupply took away 32,130 credits. He got 2 bonds, one for the high caliber, 1 for the Confederate, and 1,278 XP times 2 for the first victory, 2,556 experience points altogether from the completing the mission and events, so 5,112 experience points altogether. So he did do well with the ammunition he had, and towards the start of the battle it was him who was actually doing virtually all the damage to the enemy, which was forcing them back and then allowing them to become easy kills for his teammates to take out, which is why he got the Confederate really. He was just hitting as many enemies as he could, and once they were in a weakened state then his teammates can actually deal with them. The only problem I've got really with that replay is more that he didn't move towards the centre of the map in order to get the ability to shoot at all the enemies that were in sight, and he didn't conserve his ammunition. He fired a lot of rounds at targets where he couldn't be confirmed that the enemy was there. He even tried blind shots at the bushes where Arty normally hides, and it turned out the Arty wasn't even there. He was actually up on the plateau, and that left him short of ammunition right at the end when he could see the M41, and he just had no ammo left to deal with him. So yeah, bear that in mind please next time, because otherwise it might be a bit embarrassing that you end the game and you lose simply because you didn't have enough ammo left and the enemy was able to take you out because of that. So yeah, please do bear that in mind, because it's a pretty awful thing for an Arty to run out of ammo and lose the game purely because it didn't keep an eye on the shell count. But he did win this one. He won it, luckily, thankfully, because he did do a lot of damage to the enemy early on in the game, and I think that's what helped them win. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.